Priyanka, your internet speech language pathologist, and the first mistake I see parents make is starting with WH questions before they've even established joint attention and shared interest. Maybe you bought all the WH, who, where, why, when questions, or maybe your therapist told you to start with that. But WH questions put a lot of language processing load on the child's mind. So if you've not established joint attention, if they're not yet expressing a few words, if they're not yet having that shared focus with you, then this is just reinforcing to your child that, I'm not able to talk and I'm not able to answer. And all their little attempts also is being pushed down. So WH question is not the first goal in speech therapy. Instead, do this. Start with something called referential play. Let's say you have bubbles, and instead of asking your child, what is this? What do you want? What should I do? Go, bubbles. Let's play bubbles. Let's open the bubbles and let's blow the bubbles. Bubbles. Teach this for a few days, and after like 4th or 5th day, then you ask your child, what shall we do? And wait. Again, don't keep on asking the question, because again it becomes like background noise. And if your child is able to answer the question, very good. But if they're not, you yourself model it for them. Bubbles. Let's play bubbles. This is what to do instead of asking what is this. But you also have to simultaneously work on joint attention. A speech therapist is the best person to help you plan joint attention activities and goals according to your child's interest. But don't worry, I also have a lot of information on joint attention you can find in the comments. The second mistake is thinking that visuals, AACs or gestures will reduce communication. This is a big misconception, because actually using pictures to support communication increases communication. I'm not just telling you this randomly. It is proven, and it is also seen in my experience. I use communication charts, AAC devices for even verbal children, because it reduces the pressure and demand to talk. It reduces frustration. It makes communication so easy to approach that the child has no other go than to just try it. In my experience, I've even had a complete conversation with a non-speaking or minimally speaking child, where I got to know so much about their personality, and they even made jokes. They kept talking about showing me what they really liked. All of this information and joy you can get out of talking with your child. But talking doesn't always have to be verbal. It can be non-verbal, and communication through gestures, pictures and symbols are a great way to reduce the demand and frustration of communication. The third mistake I see parents make is not using thought, feeling and social language. What I mean by this is, most often we are talking about the nouns or even the action words, like that's a ball, this is a bed, that's a pen, it is used to write. This is very good. This is a good place to start. But it's also very imperative that children receive a variety of language input, and it's not just very restricted to a certain part of speech. Talk about emotional language like I'm angry, I'm so bored, I'm upset. Talk about social language. It's my turn. Can you give it to me please? Can I have a turn? Let's try again. Play with me. And thought language like I think it's like this, I feel it's like this, I don't like it. So these are all based on thoughts, feelings and social setting. The fourth mistake is constantly comparing yourself and your child to milestones and charts. Should they be doing like 100 words by 3 years? Should they be talking sentences now? Yes, that is a good ballpark to know, but also not always comparing your child to that level and expecting only that from your child. Instead, see where your child is currently at and see how you can expand from just immediate next step, rather than going directly to conversation or directly to social interaction. There's so many steps from one word to conversation. Following your child's current situation is also about following your child's interest. What are they really interested in right now? Okay, my child is so interested in cars. So think of how you can build speech and language activities around cars. I have a video on that also. If your child is so interested in animals, think of how you can build some pronoun activity with animal, or a sentence activity with animal. Work with your speech therapist on this. These are all very important ways in which we need to do speech therapy, and not just stick to that universal plan, because it doesn't work for every child. The universal milestones or the universal activities is not going to work for every child, and you need to adapt the activity based on your child's current level and your child's current interest. Fifth final mistake is not talking to according to your child's current language age and not pausing. So sometimes we talk a lot more than a child can understand, or sometimes we talk very babyish even for a child who's at a complex language level. So remember that to talk in a way that your child understands about at least 50% of what you're talking, and 50% is new. It's okay, that is good, because only when we talk new things are we showing their brain there's more language to understand. There's more input you need to understand based on that 50% you already know. Children will refer, compare, associate and understand. But we shouldn't talk at a level which is so easy for them that they're not being challenged, or at a level that's too advanced that they cannot understand even 10 or 20% of what you're saying. And along with this, the next goal is to pause in between. Sometimes we are very eager and we talk a lot, which is good, but also remember to give that pause between sentences or between a few sentences, so that your child has time to do the language processing or to even respond. Leave your questions in the comments. I always check the comments and reply to your questions. So whatever questions and doubts you have, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to check out our Speakeroo app and our Writeroo app, which I developed to help children with speech and with writing. That's all for today's video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.